As a Christian who follows Jesus, one may be led to believe that vaccines are unnecessary due to their faith. This notion can be attributed to the idea that God is the ultimate healer and protector, and that vaccines are a form of lack of trust in his divine plan. Proponents of this belief often cite biblical verses such as Psalm 133, which states that God heals all your diseases, and Exodus 15:26, which says, "I am the Lord who heals you." These verses are often interpreted as a promise from God that he will protect and heal his people, making vaccines redundant. Furthermore, some Christians may view vaccines as a form of interference with God's sovereignty. They may believe that by getting vaccinated, they are trying to control or manipulate their health, rather than trusting in God's provision and care. This perspective is often rooted in the idea that God is in control of all aspects of life, including health and wellness. By refusing vaccines, these individuals may feel that they are demonstrating their faith and trust in God's ability to protect them from harm. Additionally, some Christians may be concerned about the potential risks and side effects associated with vaccines. They may believe that the risks outweigh the benefits, and that God would not want them to subject their bodies to potentially harmful substances. This concern is often fueled by misinformation and misconceptions about vaccine safety and efficacy. Despite overwhelming scientific evidence supporting the safety and effectiveness of vaccines, some Christians may remain skeptical and hesitant to vaccinate. Another factor that may contribute to the notion that vaccines are necessary for Christians is the idea of faith healing. Some Christian denominations and movements place a strong emphasis on the power of faith to heal physical ailments. They may believe that through prayer, fasting, and faith, God can and will heal any disease or illness, making vaccines unnecessary. This perspective is often rooted in biblical accounts of miraculous healings, such as those performed by Jesus and the apostles. However, it is essential to consider the broader biblical teaching on health, wellness, and stewardship of the body. While it is true that God is the ultimate healer, the Bible also emphasizes the importance of taking care of one's body and using the resources and knowledge available to maintain health and prevent illness. In 1 Corinthians 6:19-20, the Apostle Paul writes, "Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit, who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. You were bought at a price. Therefore, honor God with your bodies." This verse suggests that Christians have a responsibility to care for their physical bodies, which are considered temples of the Holy Spirit. In light of this, vaccines can be seen as a way of honoring God with our bodies, rather than a lack of trust in his provision. By getting vaccinated, Christians can help prevent the spread of diseases and protect not only themselves but also their communities, particularly the most vulnerable members such as the elderly, young children, and those with compromised immune systems. This approach is consistent with the biblical teachings on love, compassion, and care for one's neighbors. In conclusion, while the idea that vaccines are necessary for Christians who follow Jesus may seem compelling at first, it is essential to consider the broader biblical teaching on health, wellness, and stewardship of the body. By examining the scriptural emphasis on taking care of one's body and using available resources to maintain health, it becomes clear that vaccines can be a way of honoring God and demonstrating love and care for others. Rather than viewing vaccines as a lack of trust in God's provision, Christians can see them as a means of trusting in God's gift of knowledge, science, and medicine to protect and care for his people. Ultimately, a balanced and informed approach to health and wellness, one that takes into account both biblical teachings and scientific evidence, is the most effective way to maintain physical and spiritual well-being.